This controller's kind of surprised me. So here we have the 8Bitdo Ultimate. And I was trying out this controller primarily for Smash, but I wanted to see how it would perform with fighting games. So here I have the Guilty Gear loaded up, and I think it's really good overall sort of D-pad. It feels very cheap, so at first you really wouldn't think very much about it. It's definitely a membrane one and all, but there is some caveats to this controller, definitely, compared to something like the Razer Wolverine, where it's got a mechanical D-pad and it has a little bit more leniency whenever you're going for quarter circles and half circles. This controller really wants you to be precise with those, because if you don't press the forward all the way, then you won't get this. I kind of had this experience with the Xbox One X controller, but it was a lot more severe, where sometimes it just wouldn't do it regardless. But with this controller, it's definitely comes out whenever you do it, but you really have to accentuate it, because if I get a little bit sloppy with it, so if I try to go for an attack, it seems like it's working right now, but I can tell you, like, sometimes it will not do it. I think it's just because I've gotten used to it a little bit after using it for a while, where, okay, there I was kind of a little bit lazy, and you can see my inputs are a little bit off there, so that's why this one, the back didn't come out. So it's not as lenient as the Razer Wolverine, but I like how it's a little bit more strict, but it's more precise in a way, where if you do your inputs, it does them, but if you don't, then it doesn't do them. Which, with this, you can kind of get away with being a little bit lazy, because it's a little bit more lenient, but you do also have to worry about your inputs sometimes getting considered something else. So I'll go ahead and do a combo here, just do sort of a staple. So, do this. I haven't played Guilty Gear, so now I'm going to try this controller on Tekken. So if I do backdashes, it's actually pretty good. I've noticed, I've tried it out for a little bit, and it seems like it does these backdashes quite well. It's pretty good, but I'm not very good at controller backdashing. But yeah, I don't really see any real issues with it. So other than that, let's try to do some combos. So if I do back forward inputs, this is definitely a lot better than the Razer Wolverine here. But this one, I just can't really do back forward inputs very consistently. So I've adopted different combos like this. So if I just do like my normal combos, this is what I usually normally do. It does pretty good damage and everything. So it's pretty good. But now, because the back forward inputs are actually quite good on this controller, I could do those combos now. So I'll have to learn those. But yeah, Korean backdash, definitely an improvement over the Razer Wolverine and stuff. So compared to other controllers I've used, it's actually quite good. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to do some electrics. I actually don't play Heihachi or any of the Mishimas, but I wanted to see if I can do electrics on this controller. So it looks like I can do electrics somewhat on this controller. Looks like it works pretty well, actually. Looks like my timing's not the greatest, though. But yeah, I can do electrics somewhat on this controller. So all in all, I think this controller is pretty good. I'm not exactly the greatest at showing off execution on Tekken or anything, so yeah, I can only really show is kind of my sloppy backdash, a little bit of wave dash, you know, maybe an electric or two if I'm lucky. But all in all, I think it's really good controller for Tekken. I really don't have any issues with it. It can do backdashes quite well. It can do wave dashes quite well, although I will say, because of the sort of plastic on there, it's quite a rough texture, so it's not that great in terms of very long wave dashes if you plan on using this a lot. I don't think it's going to be the greatest for quarter circle motions and stuff for very long periods of time, but it's not bad. If you get over that, I think this controller, in terms of inputs, is really good. I'm very surprised because it feels very cheap, but it actually performs really well. I try to do like diagonals and stuff, it's pretty good at those. You have to be a little bit more precise, like I said, but it's really good at doing them once you do. So I think all in all, this controller is really good.